So welcome back to another episode of Sawdust. In today's episode, we're going to visit with one of our favorite women in the construction industry, Cassie Collinson. But first, let's check the progress of our Waterfront project where we began with helical piers. The crew is just wrapping up the exterior. We got a lot going on the interior. I'm Jeff Sweenor of Sweenor Builders. We have been building on the coast for over 30 years. Our team of craftsmen and design professionals are committed to delivering the best practices in custom home building. Our end product has to be beautiful, highly efficient, and use advanced building science to stand up to harsh coastal conditions. On Sawdust, we bring you behind the scenes to give you an inside look of how we do it. So it's been about 7 months since we started here with the helical pier foundation. We are wrapping up the exterior and starting with some hardscape and a landscape. Come on, let me give you a tour. Catch up on the progress. So last week we treated these concrete columns. So they were a little beat up from stripping the forms off the plywood seams. But what we ended up doing here was we stuccoed them and then smoothed it out with a sponge finish. It gives it just a little bit of texture so that it'll hold paint. And as you can see, it matches the siding here. This is alabaster white. So this is elevation 16 right about here. This is flood zone. So we've got an extra 2 feet of what's called freeboard, and that enables us to have this ductwork down below the building, which is really helpful for space planning upstairs. Now we'll go ahead and wrap all of this, encapsulate this all with AZEK sheet goods. And you can see here, this is the closed cell insulation that's hard up against the underside of this building. That's giving us vapor barrier and R value at the same time, as well as air sealing. So around the side here, you can see these platforms, again, flood zone, and we've got to have any electrical equipment above the flood zone. So we've created these little suspension pads that will house the 2 air conditioning compressors there, and that way they're protected up above. So electric service here, you can see it's a little higher than normal, again, keeping this a meter above the flood zone. Now traditionally we would see the panel, down in the basement on the opposite side of this, but not in this house. We got to go to the attic for that. I'll show you. Come on in. All right, so up here in the attic, and you can see this is open cell spray foam. So we've got closed cell up against the sheathing, followed by open cell, less expensive that way. It gets painted because it's going to be exposed. And so you can see here we've got the 2 electric panels. There's 2 different panels. One of them will be fed to the backup generator. So only about half the building will be on the backup generator, all the essential stuff. But, again, panels are up here in the attic. That's what you're going to do in the flood zone. You can see here we've got an air handler, all the ductwork. This air handler services the 2nd floor, and then there's another air handler downstairs that takes care of the 1st floor. This is the other air handler, and this is the unit that actually ducts down and underneath the building and comes up on this 1st floor to condition it. So we're building these tight houses. We're trying to get below 0.5 air exchanges per hour. So what that means is that we've got to be able to mechanically ventilate the space now. So you can see here, this is a energy recovery ventilator, an ERV. This is what takes outside air and exchanges it for the inside air so that we're always doing air exchange here. So we're here in the master bathroom. This is actually the shower. We got a lot of little complex areas going on. You see here, the floor is 3/4 of an inch lower than the main floor. And what we did was basically put the underlayment in between the joists right up at the top. And this will get a linear drain without a curb. So this will be a curbless shower, smooth transition. You see the sign here, no board. So that means we're putting Schluter underlayment on this Curdy board, and that'll accept tile. We got tile on this wall here, so there's no board here. So you can see we've marked all the studs with an orange spray paint. So right before we insulate, we go around and mark every single stud orange spray paint. It takes about an hour to do the entire house. But not only is it good for the sheetrockers to know where the studs are, when we get to finish work, it makes finish work go a lot smoother. So now for crown molding, for chair rail, for baseboard, we have stud layout, and it just makes it so much easier. Right here, we have these awesome soft close pocket doors, which I really like. So last time we were here, we were looking at this spot right here with all of that stuff in the wall. We were saying how that was really our last opportunity to get a good look at it, get some pictures and documentation of it. And now you can see we've got veneer plaster going on top of that blue board. And over here you can see there's a base coat. That's the strength coat that covers the joint, and then the full veneer finished smooth on top of that. So one of the many skills other than plastering that you gotta have is you gotta be able to walk around on these stilts all day, and that is an art in itself. So I just want to point out this, Nate came up with a really good idea here. We've installed the finished door, and what I mean by that is the jambs, and we hung the door. But then we took the door slab out and put it somewhere where it would be protected and safe. We've lined up the hinges and installed a temp door on top of this out of 3/4 inch plywood. A little hasp on here, so we're not only secure, but we're protected so that this is gonna get beat up. We got a lot of still work going in and out, in and out. When the job is, much closer to completion, we'll put the finished door back on. So I love seeing the evolution of this project. We came out of the ground with helical piers, now we're turning the corner on the exterior. So we have a lot of interesting things still to come on the inside, and we're gonna take you through all the way to completion.
Hey, I'm Jesse at Sweenor Builders. I have my Vito Pro Pack out. I choose the Pro Pack instead of having big bags around my waist because we're in a finished space. We don't want swinging hammers going into your walls. We don't want to bump our nail puller into a piece of finished cabinetry and scratch it up. I roll on a cart. I can take it room to room with me. I can break it down quickly. I can put it back up upstairs if I need to. Everything's accessible from right here. I only need a few items. I definitely need drill sets. I need fasteners. I have multiple size screws. I have pocket screws, blind fasteners, just in case the screw breaks. I have things to extract screws. So here in our bag, I'm having basic hand tools, my non-marking mallet in order to bang on finished products that may need a little persuasion. So at this final phase of the house, we're setting fixtures like toilet paper holders, grab bars, mirrors, things like that into the wall. So this is gonna be how I find the studs in order to anchor everything in. More things I have. So this is my little scribe that I use in order to join baseboard onto the floor of your house. So I also have a few different types of bevel gauges and squares to help me find my angles. This is more like a protractor style. If my corner is a little obtuse or a little bit acute, this is gonna give me the degree that I cut in half and cut on my saw so that everything ends up really tight. I also use my block plane quite a bit, especially after I made my mark. I'm gonna use this to remove that material. Torpedoes, these are levels to make sure Anything that I set up, especially baseboard, when you're looking down a hallway, you don't want your baseboard to be at an angle. You want to make sure everything is always perfectly plumb, no matter if it's at your feet or at eye level. So spin this around. I always keep some pony clamps. If I ever need anything held and I don't have a partner working with me, it's gonna hold something down that I need held while I work on it. I always have some wood glue. This is a chinois stainless steel square. I can make a really delicate, fine line. This is not a rough cut, this is a finished cut, so I can get down to the 32nd, to the 64th, and even less with this precision. A few more items I have in here. If I have a screw that may be stripped out from its hole in a door, I could take these skewers and I can stick them in the screw hole and break them off. As I break off that into the screw hole, that's going to be left in there and give me enough bite on the screw in order for me to put a new screw into that jam. I also have, as a site supervisor, a large part of my job is making sure everything's getting done. So we make punch lists. These are a finishing list, and it's my job to make sure all of these things get done. And week after week, this hopefully gets smaller. And this is the manifesto that goes to the house. This is basically everything I need to know. Whatever question anybody has, it should be in this book. So this is my referral. By the end of the job, I basically know everything that's in here. All right, and I'm Jesse from Sweenor Builders, and that's how I roll.
Hardest working tool on the job site right there. We've got the best in the business. Let me introduce you to Cassie.
Should I wear my hair down? And this GoPro is recording. Okay. Say hi, Kai. Say hi. Come here, Kai. Come here. Yeah, stay. Chill. Come here. All right. Whenever you're ready, we're good. My name is Cassie Collinson. I am owner of Cassie's Cans, Inc. We do portable toilet restroom rentals. This here is Kaiser, and I have another German Shepherd on the floor. His name is Ozzy, and both of my boys come to work with me every single day. Crew was never a part of the business plan. I think it was just that for the first year or two of me working, by myself and seeing how much, people enjoyed seeing women in business, that I kind of just wanted to keep that going. And then by, bringing on my first girl, Carissa, who's been with me, she just ended up working out so well that I knew that my third girl, my fourth girl, should probably be girls, I work around guys all day, so I'd at least like my crew to be girls so I don't lose my mind. So I was working with my father for a couple of years underneath his business, which is guaranteed router service. So we did sewer lines, routered sewer lines, blocked sewer lines. And so him and I are out to lunch one day. I was probably 19, 20 years old at this time. And, just shooting back and forth about, ways that, I could start a business. I had always wanted to start a business, and I'd kind of gotten my feet wet working, underneath him in the septage and, sewer industry. Seeing that, the business of waste will never go away. It can be lucrative. So him and I are just at lunch one day and, have crayons, and we're using, placemat to just draw out a porta-john, and started kind of laughing about some funny names. When we landed on the name at Cassie's Cans, we were just like, that's it. That's hilarious. The word had to be related to a bathroom, a can, and my old man and I just were like, Cassie's Cans. Like that's it. There's no other discussion. Cass, if you do this, you start this business, the name is gonna be Cassie's Cans. It just stuck. And it just took off from there. Okay, so the first thing we do when we get on site, make sure all the trucks are out of the way, we have clear access to the toilet. And then we turn on the vacuum to start pumping out the toilet. So the first thing we do is suck out the shit. I didn't go to college. Right after high school, I, kind of just went right to work. I just wanted something that was, hard work. I didn't want to, go to college not knowing what I didn't want to do. And I had an idea that at some point, wherever I was going to go, I just wanted to, be really great at it. Kind of have the liberation to grow a business. The typical fresh blue water that you see in a porta-john normally comes from a chemical such as a porta-pack. You take it, you drop it in the bucket, and as soon as it touches water, it starts to expand and it creates all the blue water, and then that's what goes into the toilet. Come over here, drop it in, fill up just to about 5 gallons, and this is what goes in the toilet. Like, people are like, what the hell? You'll hear all the jokes in the business, and sometimes people come to me and they're like, what the hell are you doing in this business? Like, crude comments like, oh, you have a shitty job. Like, it's just, you kind of have to poke fun at it, because it's, at the end of the day, sometimes, me and the girls, or me, and the staff are super used to it because we're doing it every single day. So it's just, porta-john, it's just crap to us, it's just waste. And the last step is rinsing out the toilet. Come over here, toolbox. We keep our soaps, toilet papers, extra supplies, urinal screens, things like that. The sanitary reality of the job is, we're coming and kind of doing one of the most grossest jobs. The bathrooms aren't, they're porta-johns. They're not your home bathroom. One of our mottos is, when training the girls, whenever you leave the job site and you clean it, pump it out, would you use the toilet? And it's attention to even though you're in a 4x4 plastic box, and more times than not, the guys want to be in and out of there as fast as they can. The attention to detail as far as, scrubbing the corners, scrubbing the urinal, and just little details and cleaning like that overall makes such a difference when it comes to just how clean these 4x4 bathrooms are for these guys. It kind of creates a little bit of a camaraderie, or a vibe on the job, and having a certain level of cleanliness has an effect on them that they feel like we give a damn about their bathrooms. And with that, they tend to be a little bit more respectful and clean and sanitary while, using and renting these portable toilets. Say hello. Say hello. Oh, are you coming up here? Let's see if he's in it. Oh yeah, Oz. Ozzy. This is Ozzy, my sweet boy, right here. And now they're both up. They're like, what is going on? The most fun part is seeing projects from foundation to finish. So that's really one of the coolest things about this, is seeing all different types of builders go from frame to finish, and watching, honestly, artwork come together. That's probably the coolest part about the job in itself, and constantly making little notes of my dream house one day from all these different builders. The funnest part about being a business owner is, honestly, I'd say, is just building the team, and just having these really hard-working blue-collar girls that I just I don't know, I'm just really proud of them. I think that's the funnest part about being in business for yourself, is having, you know, staff that come on and like really believe in you, and they honestly have fun doing it. It's just having a team like that that's just so supportive of like what you're trying to do, and you're trying to impress everyone and really just be the best in the business. And it's just, that's been the funnest part for me, is just having awesome girls, hardworking girls, and just like building a team and just watching it grow. That's the best part. Okay, all right. Wait, what? Whew.
She is awesome, isn't she? So thanks for watching another episode of Sawdust. If you like what you see, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, share with your friends. Tune in every Wednesday where we bring you high performance building on the coast. We'll see you then.